Support for this podcast comes from listeners and St. Alphonsus Health System, a regional network of hospitals, clinics, and care providers. St. Alphonsus offers comprehensive healthcare services to individuals and families throughout the community. More information about services and locations is available at stalphonsus.org.
At the Boise Art Museum right now, there are almost 1,000 hand-painted plates on display. The blue and white dishes show detailed illustrations of comfort foods like spaghetti and pancakes and hamburgers, the last meals of death row inmates.
You have to wonder what kind of life they lived for that to be the case.
I'm Julie Luqueta. Find my report and pictures of the Last Supper exhibit at boisestatepublicradio.org.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector, Idaho's daily news. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. This morning, we will tell you about a very impressive financial report card from Micron and a big change coming to the Western Idaho Fair. It's Thursday, the 18th of December. Here we go with today's stories. Idaho State education leaders on Wednesday signed off on an initial plan to jumpstart a new medical school program in the Treasure Valley. James Dawson tells us more.
The plan approved by the Idaho State Board of Education allows the University of Idaho to partner with the University of Utah for the program. But they're just the first steps. Final approval and, importantly, funding would have to go through the Idaho legislature.
The agreement that in front of you today with the University of Utah positions us to be ready, though, on day one, should approval be granted.
That's Sunny Wallace, U of I's chief of staff. She says the school will spend $600,000 over the next 2 years to help develop curriculum and cover other administrative costs while lawmakers debate the issue. A legislative working group is expected to finalize its recommendations to expand medical education in Idaho later this week. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
On Wednesday, Boise-based Micron announced record earnings for the last quarter, widely beating analyst expectations. The company posted revenues of $13.6 billion in the first quarter of its new business year, up nearly 57% year over year. CEO Sanjay Mehrotra says some of its memory products are already sold out for 2026, while the entire industry is struggling to meet demand for semiconductor chips as the AI boom drives a lot of growth.
Additional clean room space is necessary to address this increased demand, and lead times for clean room build-out are lengthening across geographies.
Mehrotra says that's not the case in Boise, where the first of Micron's 2 manufacturing facilities is now expected to produce memory chips in mid-2027 instead of late 2027. The company predicts record revenue and profits would continue in the current quarter. Dangerously high winds ripped across Idaho Wednesday, turning over commercial vehicles on state highways, flipping a plane at the Lewiston Airport, and toppling trees across the state. In the Kootenai County community of Vernon, a man died after a tree crashed into his home while he was sleeping. 2 children waiting for a school bus were seriously injured when a tree fell on them. In the Sun Valley region, the winds were so intense, operators had to close Bald and Dollar Mountains. On the Moscow campus of the University of Idaho, winds uprooted 15 well-known trees that towered over the campus for more than a century. For today, it will be calmer as a warm front moves in with mixed precipitation. Things get significantly cooler this weekend, and another trough of precipitation is expected early next week. While Jews across the world face troubling times, violence, threats of violence, intimidation, and worse, this evening is the annual Idaho celebration of Hannukah at the state capitol. On this broadcast this week, we heard from Rabbi Mendel Lifshitz talking about this evening's ceremony.
To be able to celebrate our festival together with government officials who welcome us and participate. But the dignitaries, whether it's the governor, the mayor, or chief of police, whoever participates, they really give us the holiday cheer.
Today's Hannukah celebration under the rotunda at the State House begins at 5 p.m. A pretty big announcement yesterday from Ada County in regard to the Western Idaho Fair. They are planning on transitioning from a 1-week fair to a 3-week fair. They're hoping to do that in 2027. Eventually, they're hoping to open in early August instead of middle or late August, which they've done for the past several years. Fair officials say they regularly hear from families who say the fair collides with the beginning of a new school year. This way, they say, they'll start earlier and be open for 3 weekends during the run of the fair. And again, this would be effective in 2027. And that's today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. What do you say we get back here on Friday? By the way, you can always stay in touch on our website, boisestatepublicradio.org. Tell your friends and family about The Connector and how they can find it wherever they find their favorite podcasts. For now, to you, thanks for listening.
How does AI even work? Where does creativity come from? What's the secret to living longer? TED Radio Hour explores the biggest questions with some of the world's greatest thinkers. They will surprise, challenge, and even change you. Listen to NPR's TED Radio Hour wherever you get your podcasts.